We're back with the 6th episode. Thanks again for tuning in, and thanks for watching the other videos. If you're new here, we're taking this 2018 Suzuki M109 and we're putting aftermarket accessories, parts, and things like that on it. And again, all the parts and accessories we're putting on it is something that you or I can buy and install. Nothing, no crazy fabrication or anything like that. So without further ado, let's get this episode started. And happy holidays. This episode we're going to be installing these air cleaners and the Power Commander 5 onto the bike. And if we have time, we might get to some other stuff. All right, so let's use the directions and see what we got to do to install these air cleaners. And again, they're air cleaners from Baron Custom Accessories. And here's the instructions. So the first thing it says is, number 1, remove the seat, side covers, and fuel tank per instructions in your factory service manual. Well, looks like that's been done. Number 2, starting from the left side, remove the 2 M6 button head Allen screws holding the factory airbox to the motor. There is a spacer on the lower bolt. This will need to be reused. So basically you're going to be reusing some parts. And again, we removed the airbox a while ago. Loosen the clamps. Basically remove the factory box. Loosen the clamps on your boots. Got to remove the 5 Phillip head screws on the back. And these hold the chrome cover onto the airbox. They will not be reused. So we're taking these 5 Phillips head screws. For example, there's one. There's 5 of them. Got to take them all out. And then this cover comes off. Next we have, inside the airbox, there are 3 Phillips head screws holding the factory filter to the back of the box. Remove the filter, and we're going to be saving these screws and reusing them. Obviously remove the rubber elbow from the intake, which is that piece right there. Remove the gasket, and then we'll show you how to install all of this as well. There's what the inside of your factory airbox looks like. Just have this filter, and if you have a stock airbox and you're ever doing service to it, obviously just pull these 3 screws off and your factory filter comes off, and then you can put the cover back on. But we got to take these 3 screws out, and we're going to be saving these and reusing them. As you can see, we've got the airbox taken apart. There's what your factory filter looks like, and there's the inside of your cover. We got the boots, and let's get ready to put these air cleaners on. The directions say the next step is on the inside of your factory air cleaner. You have this rubber tube on both of them. We just want to pop those out to be able to, and you're not going to be reusing them. So it just has it's just a rubber gasket. You just push it down and pull it out, and she'll work just fine. All right, so now we want to take this, your mounting plate, and it has 2 sides. One side is flat and the other side has grooves in it. The reason for those grooves are the inside of this shape fits together perfectly. You can see there's no seam. Well, there's a seam, but it fits together really nice to your factory box. The first thing we got to do is we got to mount these to the outside of this plate so that we can mount the air cleaner to it, and we got to do that before we put these 2 together. You're going to be using these black screws with the number 4 Allen, and you can see there's multiple different spots to put different types of screws and things like that in. So these black ones, you got to be careful. If you don't put them in the right spot, it's not going to line up with the outside. There's only three tapered holes, and this is one of them. You can see how the screw fits in there flush. So there's only 3 of those that these black screws fit into to make it work. Let's go ahead and get those mounted. The next step is to fasten the black stock box to the chrome plate. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to take the short screws that come with the kit, they're Phillips head, and there's 3 slots in the plate that you can see through the deep holes in the back. There's one underneath this hose, one across from it, and then one at the top. So you're just going to drop them down in there, and you're going to hand tighten these, and you don't want to over tighten them or you'll strip them out and the box won't work properly. After you've fastened those 3, you want to flip the box over and you'll see 3 more holes on this side. And you can take 3 of the screws you took from the stock air box, and these are again Phillips head and the thread is a little different, and you just drop those into those 3 holes and tighten everything up, and then you're ready to put your air cleaner on. Next step, you unwrap your air cleaner. You can see that the 3 prongs are sticking out. You just lay it over top like that, and then you take the black plate that comes with the kit, and obviously it has 4 holes in it, but 3 of them line up with the 3 prongs that you mounted, and there's a little lip on the inside that fits on the inside of the cleaner, and that's what helps hold it down. So you put that on there, you just line the holes up. May have to move the cleaner around, the air cleaner around a little bit. You install your 3 more of these black number 4 Allen keys into each one. And after you're done with that, you put the decorative wire on top of there. This goes on top of that, and the last of it is fastened with a chrome number 4 Allen down through the center, and then that goes on top, and that's your finished product. Usually I like to line these splines up a certain way so that it looks good. So there you have it. On the left side, your air cleaner mounted on this factory box, and this just remounts to your bike the same way that you took it off. So let's put her on there and see how it looks. Before we put the air cleaners on, I'm going to go ahead and install the power commander just for ease of access. So when you get your power commander, it's plug in and play, and you get your USB cord to plug into a computer to be able to tune it. You get some mounting tabs, and of course you get a couple cool stickers there and your warranty registration. So let's go ahead and get this mounted up. The reasons I didn't put the air cleaner on before the power commander is I need to get to the stock injectors, which are in there, and if I put the air cleaner on, it's going to be harder for me to get it in there. Before we start routing, let's talk about some of these wires coming out of the PCV. So naturally you have your ground wire, which needs to go to the ground of the battery, and then these 2 gray plugs and their attachments. You have a gray plug and a black one coming off of each one. This plugs into your fuel injector, and this plugs into the stock wiring harness. You have one that's red and white, and then you have one that is well, they're both red and white, but the black ones have different colors. So the red and orange go to the front cylinder, which would be obviously towards the front of the bike, and the red and yellow go to the rear injectors. And then these two go to the throttle body and so on, and we'll show you that when we get to the other side. We've got the power commander hooked up. As you can see, the box is in there. The line runs up, and you can see a little bit of the injector in there, and then it runs across the fuel rail to the other side. This is where your other connection is. There's the connection for the throttle body, and then your other injector is hidden up in there. Probably gonna be kind of hard to see. And that's it. When you're hooking up your piece over here, make sure it's to the black connector and not this one that you see right here. There's one in behind this hose that's the proper connection, and that's all there is to hooking up your. Once again, we have awesome directions. So remove the main seat and side covers, remove the fuel tank, remove the air box, all of the above we've done. And there are several hoses going into the air box. We recommend referring to the service manual for proper removal and installation. Route the wiring harness behind the left-hand side of the frame and go towards the throttle bodies. So this would be the left-hand side of the frame. You can see that I have it in here. I put the module here in where the toolbox, where the little tool bag was. Some people mount it in beside the ECU. I like to put it here because when we go to tune the bike, or anytime the new owner wants to tune the bike, all they got to do is take the seat off to get to the USB cover. So now that we have the power commander hooked up, we can go ahead and put our air boots back on, and then go ahead and install the new air cleaner on each side. And there's how the one side looks. Gives even the bike a different look. The only thing that I wish they did different was Baron doesn't make a black plate, backing plate. They only come with the chrome. If they made the back plate black just like the front, it'd be a little sharper of a look for some people maybe. All right, there's the left side. Let's get the right side on. And there's the right side. So we got both sides hooked up, and they're wide. I mean, if you look here, you can see a little bit of both air cleaners on either side of the bike from the front. Again, there's the left side and the right side. Now that we've got the air cleaners on both sides, we can move on to the next thing, which is, wow, this camera guy is not good. So the next thing is the XK glow lights all over the bike. We'll get all those mounted up, and then get the XK glow bulb into the headlight, and then after that the exhaust will go back on, the fenders will go back on, tank will go back on, and she'll be ready to tune. See how much horsepower we can get out of this. So stock, normally they're like at 128, 128, 130. So with air cleaner and exhaust, I'm hoping to get 5 to 10 more out of it, but we'll find out. So let's see what kind of lights we have.